Hey guys, welcome to another breakdown of even more Kamen Rider Zi-O news. Now, we got some scans brought to us by Toku Collectibles, and there are about 10 pages of things to get through, so let's just dive right in. So these are the first 2 pages, and this gives us a sort of sense of what Zi-O's gimmick is going to be like. So his main belt is called the G-Con driver, and to use it, you load either Zi-O or Kamen Rider Gates's ride watches into the right side. Now, I didn't get to cover Kamen Rider Gates. Earlier, he was presumed to be like another form for Zi-O, but it turns out he's his own rider, and presumably from the future. If you want more story information, that's going to be available in another video coming very soon. But for now, I'm just going to go through the toy stuff. Now again, the ride watches for Zi-O and Gates go into the side on the, if you're wearing it, it's on your right, and then on the left, you get to load the Legend Rider ride watches. And I don't think they're going to be called Legend Rider ride watches. They might be. But those go in on the left, and they serve as the rider armor. And you can get various different weapons or anything from them. The main thing to note here is that Build and X8 are for Zi-O, and Ghost and Drive are for Gates. That's because Zi-O uses the riders that have multiple gimmicks, just like Build has the 2 bottles and X8 has, the 2 Gashats that he can load in, while Ghost and Drive, they each have their icons and shift cars respectively. But that's not all we got. We also got images of the Gashapon releases. Now earlier I thought these were the DX toys, but upon further inspection, these are actually Gashapon releases. As you can tell, these are 65 millimeters, like the G-Con driver is 65 millimeters long, and the ride watches are 20 millimeters in diameter, and that size difference in terms of what we get to see later, that doesn't really line up with an actual release. So I think that for now, these are all Gashapon things. Even the G-Con, what is it? The G-Con grade. It's a Gunblade grade, I guess is the pun. It's another one of those sword guns, and it looks a little dinky as a sword, but kind of cool as a gun. Either way, the sizes are all off on that until you get to the bottom of the page, where you get to see more Gashapon releases, and these are actual ride watches. And I think these go in the actual DX belt. These aren't DX. These are again Gashapon releases, but these are 55 millimeters in diameter, and that lines up more with what we get to see later. Next up, we have inflatable toys. That's kind of cool. The thing I really want to note here is that we get a better look at Kamen Rider Build and X8's Legend Rider forms for Zi-O. And I was wondering why X8's actually had compatibility with the ride watches. That's because it's Zi-O's whole arm. Build is just a weapon, I guess, and X8 is just the whole arm on both of them from this image. So I don't think it actually has sort of support for the ride watches. It's just there because it's on Zi-O's wrist. And then we have these images here, and I believe these are DX releases because it clearly says DX there. Right on it. So, and again, these are about 75 millimeters in diameter. So that's how big your ride watches are going to be. That's significantly larger than the Gashapon releases. But for now, all we get to see is Build, Ghost, Drive, and, the main Gates and Zi-O. After that, we have this. Now, again, I also thought that this was a DX release, but looking closer, the driver is about 80 millimeters long, and again, that doesn't line up with the other ride watches being, the DX ones being 75 millimeters long or in diameter. But it has this weird feature where you can take it apart. So that leads me to believe that these are candy toy releases rather than Gashapon or DX. Same with the ride watches featured here. I believe those to be more candy toy releases, and it also comes with like the watch face or the wristband that you can put on your arm, and you can like link together and chain them just like Zi-O has. We also have this image here. More looks at the Gashapon, no, the candy toy releases, and this notes that they are 55 millimeters in diameter, so slightly bigger than the Gashapon releases, but not as big as the DX. These are going to be, 20 to 15 millimeters smaller than your DX ones if you don't want to buy DX. They also have a ton of Legend Rider ones, and this one was so surprising to me because not only did we get our main riders and even secondary riders, the one that caught me off guard was Kamen Rider Rogue. The inclusion of Rogue means that they kind of want to include a lot more riders than just main and secondary. Like, Rogue is past tertiary rider. So I think we're going to be in good hands here with this line. These are DX releases because these are 75 millimeters in diameter. I think that's just me presuming here. But we have finally this last image, and I don't quite know what it's about. But I can tell you that you can figure it out for yourself. Anyways, that just about does it for me. If you like this episode, hit that like button and subscribe if you want to hear more from us each week. Don't forget, I'm going to do a more story-focused breakdown in the coming days, maybe hours, who knows. And yeah, that just about does it for me. Thanks for watching. Keep it juicy.